prepared to suffer the consequences that society may deem you need to suffer because of your views?
You're goddamn right.
Welcome back to the Big Nick Show. We have a great show for you today. Before we start, make sure you make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, as well as my main channel, which is linked in the description below, and my Rumble, which is linked in the description below. I've put up exclusive videos on my Rumble. Also, we hit 50 subscribers on my main channel, which in reality isn't a whole lot, but it means a lot. So I left a link in the description below to my 50 subscriber, kind of give them a little shout out. But I mean, just a real shout out to anyone who's ever subscribed, because this means a lot, and you guys are the ones who help my channel grow. You know, all the likes, the subscribes, the shares, the comments, that all helps me reach, get bigger, reach a bigger audience, and I thank you guys for that. And like I said, make sure you subscribe to my main channel as well as my backup channel, which is this one. Hopefully we'll be back at the main channel, I believe Thursday. Or if there's gonna be Thursday or Friday, I'm not sure exactly, but make sure you tune in. Make sure you subscribe to both of these channels. Let's get into some news. So this is an interesting headline from, I believe it's MSNBC. It's NBC, yeah. It says Biden holds first phone call with Russian Putin, which I'm gonna be the first one to say it. Joe Biden's a Russian spy. Oh my gosh, guys. A Russian agent. The Russians, I can't even say what I'm about to say right now. The Russians, he's with the Russians, okay? I was about to say something about the election, but I can't say that on YouTube, or I might just get kicked off this video. Might just kick off YouTube. But I'm 99% sure he called Putin. That just means he's a Russian agent. The CEO of MyPillow, Mike Lindell, was permanently suspended from Twitter earlier today. It says, this is from NPR. Mike Lindell, the CEO of MyPillow, has been using his Twitter account to spread disinformation about the 2020 election. Twitter has suspended Mike Lindell, the CEO of MyPillow, from the social media platform. He has been using his Twitter account to spread disinformation about the 2020 election, including false claims of voter fraud and election rigging. So we can't have any of that, guys. Lindell's account was permanently suspended due to repeated violations of our civil integrity policy. A Twitter spokesperson told NPR it was not immediately clear which post from Lindell led to his removal from the social media platform. This is what we're talking about. A couple days ago on the show, they're quick to remove people like this. They're quick to move Trump, and now they're quick to move the MyPillow guy, Mike Lindell. But again, they didn't move. They removed the child pornography that was on Twitter because it didn't break their terms of services. Child pornography does not break the terms of services. But if you say the election was stolen, that's a big no-no. Very big no-no. Governor Newsom of California, bristles that ending stay-at-home order amid recall effort was not political at all, guys. It says on Monday, this comes from the Daily Wire, it says on Monday, speaking at a COVID-19 press conference, California Democrat Governor Gavin Newsom bristled with a reporter when a reporter asked him if his decision to end the stay-at-home orders was made for political reasons, as a huge recall movement has been launched to remove Newsom from office. Newsom opened the press conference by announcing, effective immediately, all the regions in the state of California recall. There are 5 regions that we have defined when we established our stay-at-home orders last month. All regions effective immediately are no longer the stay-at-home order and will move back to the blueprint. A blueprint many of you are familiar with. The blueprint we refer to as a blueprint for a safer economy. Fox 11 reporter Alex Mitchelson asked a broader question just to give you a chance to respond to critics, because you know that the critics are saying this online. The decision today came amidst a recall campaign comes amidst lawsuits that they say are the timing of this on this is arbitrary and convenient. Based off that, I want to give you a chance to respond to people who are saying that. Newsom snapped. Yeah, that's just complete utter nonsense. So let's just dispense that. Foundational nonsense. So that's number one. Number two, take a look at the website. If you Google, forgive me, Bing, whatever your Yahoo, I'm glad. I just want to say, before we go on, I'm glad he's, giving diversity. Because everyone always goes to Google, but I'm glad he has realized that there are other platforms for searching things on the internet. I'm glad that Bing got some representation there. And Yahoo, don't forget Yahoo, of course. He did forget DuckDuckGo, but I'll let him slide on that one. Because if you go online to My Turn, you'll find My Turn COVID, which will be the first thing that pops up. You can learn more about this on the COVID-19.california.gov website. But My Turn COVID, should you learn more about that, get that information. LA should not be promoting itself, as well as San Diego beginning to promote this pilot project. Started with a week ago down in LA, later this week in San Diego. So basically, there's been a big movement to to get rid of Gavin Newsom. It's the Recall Gavin Newsom campaign, and it started up a little bit ago, and then all of a sudden he opens up all the states. So it's a little fishy, my dude. It says, as the Daily Wire reported on Monday, the organizers of a recall petition to oust Newsom from office said that they had surpassed 1.2 million signatures. If 1.5 million Californians sign on, a recall will go to a statewide vote, the Daily Wire noted. So I'm guessing he's getting a little scared, a little, wet in the pants. Have a little tinkle. The Recall Gavin Newsom campaign, which sells merchandise like coronavirus face shields, emblazoned with the slogan, in December, won a court case to extend the signature deadline from November 17th. A Superior Court judge ruled that the pandemic hurt efforts to circulate petitions. Rescue California, one of the recall organizers, wants to get to 2 million signatures, so the state's Secretary of State has confirmed that only 84% of the signatures are valid. Newsom's regulations in November put 41 of the state's 58 counties in the most restrictive of the four-tier system, which affects 37 million residents. The move stopped reopening plans, banned indoor worship, shut down many businesses, and closed schools. Days later, Newsom and his wife attended a birthday party with a dozen friends at the expensive French Laundry restaurant in Nepal, north of San Francisco. The governor said that the dinner for a lobbyist friend was outdoors. The pictures told a different story. So, I have all these Democrat governors who talk about that, they want to go with the science, but this doesn't really seem, he doesn't really seem to go with the science, because all of a sudden it's very inconvenient. It's very convenient that he's opening up right after there's a big recall of him in his state. Also, if he was really into science, he wouldn't have gone to the French Laundry with his friends. But he's allowed to do that, guys. You guys are not allowed to go eat inside in a restaurant. You're not allowed to go to church. Who goes to church anymore? Almost every business was closed. No one was able to open up. People were losing their lives. But it's all for the science, guys. The God science. It's the religion of science, really. It's the religion of the left, the religion of science, where in reality they're not even really following science. It's science when it suits me. It's not even like science all around. It's science when it suits me. So, truthfully, I hope Governor Newsom gets recalled. Also, Politico staffers at Politico are throwing a hissy fit after Politico allowed Ben Shapiro to write the political playbook. So this is a headline from Yahoo News. 100 plus Politico staffers send a letter to CEO railing against publishing Ben Shapiro. Oh gosh, I hate Ben Shapiro. Freaking Nazi. But he's also Jewish. But he's a Nazi, guys. He probably has like a framed photo of Adolf Hitler. Like just like I do, you know, I have Donald Trump. He's basically Hitler. So that means I'm a white supremacist, I guess. Ben Shapiro probably has like a similar picture, but of Hitler, and it probably has a Donald Trump picture right next to it, because they're basically the same thing. I mean, there's no real difference. But it says more than 100 political staffers signed onto a letter sent it to publisher Robert Albritton, expressing disgust with allowing right-wing firebrand Ben Shapiro to guest author one day's edition of the Playbook, and with the outlet's subsequent handling of the fallout. We should all just boycott Politico. I mean, that's what we gotta do, guys, because how dare they let Ben Shapiro write for them? This will not stand. Earlier this month, the Beltway news outlet handed over the keys to its signature news product to Shapiro, a talk radio host and pundit who has long been one of the most controversial voices in right-wing media, thanks to part in his incredibly incendiary comments about the LGBT community. They forgot the it's LGBTQIA. I found out a couple days ago. Don't ask me what the IA means. I truthfully didn't know what it meant, and I had to look it up, and I forgot it anyway. His incendiary comments about the LGBT community, Muslims, Black Americans, and Jews who supported Democrat politicians. Truthfully, I have no idea what they're talking about. I don't think he's ever said anything bad about Black people. Like, he's not a racist. Like, I literally have no idea what they're talking about Black people here. But okay. The guest appearance sparked immediate backlash and criticism from many in the media industry, including with Politico's own newsroom. I just want to point out they forgot to mention he's a Nazi. I'm just gonna just add a little in there, you know, a little asterisk. He's also a Nazi at the bottom of the page, you know. According to multiple political insiders familiar with the situation, the letter to Albritton criticizes the decision to publish Shapiro, claiming it had demoralized a substantial portion of the newsroom, but also railed against the response to criticism offered by editor-in-chief Matt Kaminsky. It was an internal matter, and it will be handled at once, a political spokesperson told the Daily Beast. During a combative meeting on January 14th, day of Shapiro's publication, the top editor defended the editorial decision to irate staffers by claiming mischief-making has always been a part of Politico's secret sauce. We're an upstart. Some of that sensibility is always going to be a part of this publication. So, yeah, bunch of, you know, political staffers lost it when, how dare they let Ben Shapiro write for Politico. That just it makes me so mad. Okay, we'll move on to that, to some lighthearted kind of news. So, a husband was stabbed repeatedly by his wife after she finds photo of him with a skinny young girl. It turned out that it's actually an old picture of her. So I'm sure there was a lot of explaining to do there. Also, I thought this was a cool little story. Senator Patrick Leahy is actually now is third in line for the presidential succession. So he's basically like the fourth string quarter president, you know. Which means if Biden dies, Kamala dies, and Nancy Pelosi dies, then Senator Patrick Leahy from Vermont will be the president. And the one thing that's kind of cool is that Leahy has actually appeared in 5 Batman movies. He's appeared in Batman and Robin, Batman the Animated Series, Batman vs. Superman, The Dark Knight Rises, and The Dark Knight. Also, he worked with DC Comics in the 90s on a Batman comic about the dangers of landmines because in the 90s, he was pushing legislation to ban the export of landmines. I just thought that was kind of cool. I mean, it's not every day that you get a guy who could be the president who's also been in 5 Batman movies. But it says that all the money he's earned from cameos in all those movies, he donated to a children's library in Vermont. So, he seems like a pretty chill guy. Pretty chill. He's a big fan of Batman, which is cool. And we're gonna get to this next story, but it's more of a video. So there's been this video circulating around, and I'm gonna show it to you guys. It's pretty cringe.
But once in a while you meet the Bob Who people. Do you know what I'm talking about? You probably don't. I'll explain it to you. It's where you go in and you say, "My name is Bill." She says, "My name is Karen." "That's nice. Where are you from?" "I'm from Seattle." And then she says, "Oh, you're from Seattle. Do you know Bob?" So then I always like to get them and say, "Yeah, Bob who?" "Bob, get it? Joke." Oh well.
Yeah, so that was a video back in the 80s of everyone's favorite fake TV scientist, Bill Nye. I guess he tried his hand at stand-up comedy, and he wasn't that good. I think he realized it too. Where he was like, at the end, where he's like, "Bob, get it? Joke." Oh well. It was so cringe though. I was like, oh. But yeah, I'm glad for Bill. Because I'm glad he didn't try to go into the comedian. He didn't try to be a comedian. I'm glad he went on to become a fake scientist on TV. Anyway, we're gonna be right back. When we come back, we will talk about all this unity that Joe Biden and all the Democrats are pushing. But we're not really getting unity. We're getting something else. We're gonna be talking about that when we come back. So don't go anywhere. Reporting the facts YouTube doesn't want you to know. It's the Big Nick Show. That's right, guys. Welcome back to the Big Nick Show. Also, welcome back to America. Biden's America. The unified America. It's the one song in The Lion King. Can you feel the unity in America? That's that one song from The Lion King. Hopefully, YouTube doesn't hit me with hopefully YouTube doesn't demonetize this video because YouTube doesn't exactly like me right now. So yeah, but anyway, so Biden and the Democrats have been calling for unity. We've been hearing it time and time again. It's one unity. It's time for everyone to unite. I don't see blue states. I don't see red states. I see American states and all that other nonsense. And that seems all good and all. I mean, it would be good if we could unify. And but Biden seems to be doing the exact opposite. That's what I'm talking about. They call for unity, but they're passing all this stuff that isn't really unifying. Like raising the minimum wage to $15 isn't very unifying, but Biden's pushing for that. We don't agree. A lot of conservatives don't agree with that. If we wanted to unify, you wouldn't be pushing all this stuff out. That's not at all unifying. I mean, like we said, he froze Trump's plan. He upped cost for insulin. That doesn't seem very unifying. He canceled the Keystone XL bill, Keystone XL pipeline, which got a lot of people mad at him, including Native American tribes, and a lot of people doing that cost a lot of people their jobs as well. So again, this doesn't seem very unifying. He wants to codify a federal abortion law, which will. It says the Biden-Harris administration is committed to codifying Roe v. Wade and appointing judges that respect fundamental precedents like Roe. It's if he codifies it, it will allow for legal abortions even in the event that the Supreme Court overturns the 1973 ruling. That's not unifying at all. So why do they call for unity but give us something else? And because unity sounds like a good thing right now, especially right now, because America is anything but unified. We are deeply divided, and we could possibly be on the brink of a civil war. So if it was the time for unity, it would be right now. But Biden doesn't give us unity. He gives us more division by passing all these laws that are only supported by one party. It's not very unifying, and he's not even trying to talk with the Republicans like, hey, do you guys want to think you could make out a deal or something? No, he's just signing executive orders. Just go. He signed like 20 in the first few days. I think it might have even been more. That's not very unifying. He also banned. Biden also put in a travel ban, but this one isn't xenophobic. Remember back when Trump put a travel ban on China? Biden came out and called that xenophobic. But now it's not xenophobic. This comes from the Daily Wire. It says, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki was asked Monday by Fox News White House correspondent Peter Ducey why travel bans extended and expanded under President Joe Biden are not considered xenophobic. When President Trump was imposing travel restrictions in March, specifically on China, then candidate Biden called it xenophobic and fear-mongering, Ducey told Psaki. So now President Biden is putting travel restrictions on people coming in from other countries. What word do we use to describe that? Psaki says, well, I don't think that's a fair articulation. The president has been clear that he felt the Muslim ban was xenophobic. He overturned the Muslim ban. Yeah, but we're not talking about the Muslim ban. We're talking about his bans from, I believe it was banning a lot of, like, you couldn't come from other states, other countries into America. So that's not xenophobic, but Trump doing it is. And this is, again, it's another thing that's dividing America. We see the hypocrisy and the lies. It's xenophobic when Trump does it, but when we do it, it's okay. I don't think it's wrong for Biden to necessarily do it. I don't think it's wrong for Trump to do it. But Biden called it xenophobic and fear-mongering when Trump did it, especially to China, because that's where the coronavirus was started and that's where it was coming from. But it was xenophobic to that. Biden's also talking about replacing Andrew Jackson with Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill, which I think it's somewhat of a good idea. I think Harry. I have no problem with putting Harriet Tubman on the on money. What my problem is, I don't think we should just replace Andrew Jackson. And this is the thing. Like I said, I'm not racist. I have no problem with putting Harriet Tubman on money. I think she should be able to get on money, and I think we should have a dollar, some form of money with Martin Luther King Jr. on. But I see what they're trying to do. This is what the liberals are trying to do. They're going to act like, oh, we just want representation. We want black people on money, which I have no problem with. But what they're gonna do is replace all the old racist white people. That's what they're gonna do. because people like Andrew Jackson, people like George Washington, people like even Abraham Lincoln, they're all racist. And then this is what they're going to do. They're just going to replace them all with people of color. And like I said, I have no problem with putting people of color, black people, on money. My problem is when they just want to replace everyone. This is the same thing as tearing down all the statues. Tear down all the statues. Tear down statues of George Washington. Tear down statues of Thomas Jefferson. Even tear down statues of Abraham Lincoln, because it doesn't matter because he's white. It doesn't matter that he basically single-handedly ended slavery in America. It doesn't matter. He's white, so he has white privilege, and he's automatically racist. Even though assuming that someone is racist based on their skin color is racism. I mean, are they seriously like that mentally challenged? I can't use the R word. Are they seriously that mentally challenged? I mean, like I said, I'm going to say this again. I have no problem with putting Harriet Tubman on money. Like I said, I think we should have Martin Luther King Jr. on some money. What I think we should do is make bring back, maybe the $500 bill. Maybe put Harriet Tubman on that. Maybe put Martin Luther King Jr. on a dollar coin. I have no problem with it. Because I know where this is going to go. This is going to go to, well, let's just replace all the money. Because all of them were all old white men. Like I said, I'm gonna say this like the fifth time. I want to hammer this across. I have no problem with putting black people on money. I think we should have more people on money. Because really the only people who have on money right now are presidents, and there's Ben Franklin. I think everything other than Ben Franklin, I think all the other people are presidents. Pretty sure. So I think we should have more people, more bills, maybe more coins. I have no problem. But like I said, they're just gonna try to erase history. Get rid of everything old, bring in the new, and tear down America. Tear down its history, because history is built on racism and evil. Even though it's not. America was built on the idea that all men were created equally and everyone deserves the rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Sure, there was racism in America. Sure, there was slavery in America. You can't deny it. But saying that America itself is just racism is just not true. It's a lie. All a lie. Anyway, that's all we have for tonight. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you keep calm and enjoy life. But also, remember, never be too afraid to stand up for your rights, because they're given to you by God, not by any government. And no government can take them away. I'm Big Nick. This is The Big Nick Show.
If you enjoyed that break from disinformation, historical revision, and screaming about the end of the world, be sure to hit the subscribe button so that you never miss another video. If you enjoyed that